Good evening and welcome to Information Please, your Peoria Public Library on the air, bringing you information about your library and your community. This evening my guest is Alice Jackson, and we're going to tell you about what's coming up in 2016. It's almost the end of the year, time to mark your calendar so you don't miss all the great big things that are coming to the library next year. Hi Alice.
Hey Tricia.
I know we're both busy making phone calls, putting things on calendars, and it gets kind of overwhelming this time of year because you got to get that big stuff in there, so then pad the little stuff in around it.
Mm-hmm.
But one of our great programs that's packed every month is Music in the McKenzie.
Yes, it is, and we are almost full up for next year. We have a couple holes still, but I'm pretty pleased with where we are right now. We just have a couple openings towards the end of the year, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But we're going to start off right away in January with a group that we've had before, Flatland Harmony Experiment from Indiana. They were here about a year ago or so. Mm-hmm. Great performance, great guys. They're real laid back, but they're a lot of fun. And
what kind of music do they play?
Kind of a bluegrassy type, so fits right in with what everybody loves that comes to Music in the McKenzie.
Yeah.
But they're a lot of fun to be around too, and one thing that our crowd loves at Music in the McKenzie is the chatter in between the songs and talking about where this came from and how they learned it, or if it's something they've written themselves, original pieces, things like that. They like the crowd really likes to hear that background.
Yeah.
And this group is one of them that's good with that. So it's fun to have them there.
I think Music in the McKenzie is so unique in the Peoria area because where else is there a concert on a Sunday afternoon that's free?
Free.
and it's indoors, and there's easily accessible parking.
Yes.
And and you hold it. It's just not always the same Sunday because we have to work with.
Mm-hmm. We have to work with the band, schedules. And then we have to work with what's going on already booked in the room as well.
Yeah, but once a month.
Once a month at 2:00 on a Sunday. Play for a couple hours, and if you really like the band, generally they have CDs for sale with a percentage of that going to our friends group, which is always a positive.
Which helps pay to bring more
bands.
Helps
bring them back in, exactly. Yeah. One funny thing, a description that somebody said is, one of the bands said, is that this is the bar crowd that doesn't like to go to the bars anymore.
Yeah.
They don't like to hang out at the bars and go to the smoky, places, whatever. Nobody can smoke in there anymore, but they don't like to go hang out in those dark, dreary places.
Well, probably
anymore.
Most of them can't drink anymore.
That could be.
They can't drive at night.
But
we also have a lot of families who have small children.
Mm-hmm. That you don't want to take them to places like that.
Yeah, but it's nice to expose them to the music, but also they don't have to get a babysitter, and while they're there, they can pick up some books.
Exactly.
Kids might even be able to do crafts during that visit.
You just never know. I mean, it's something for everyone. And it's always a lot of fun. And it's entertaining. It's an entertaining afternoon. Easy, laid back, and
I think the audience that goes are fun people because they are the people who always used to go out
and hang out.
They might still be going out, but this is another chance to hear some music.
Yeah. So we've got Flatland Harmony Experiment, like I said, starting off, and then in February we have Random Strangers, which is a local group, and it's a couple guys here from Peoria. And that is actually a tie-in with our Peoria Reads book for next year.
Yeah, which is the Things They Carry.
Things They Carry.
We'll talk about that extensively in a while. But
yeah,
what sort of music do they play?
It's some 60s and 70s, mostly covers. They do have a few originals, but mostly covers. But they're real interested in coming and being a part of this whole program, both Music in the McKenzie and Peoria Reads. So I thought that was a nice tie-in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that enjoy music of the 60s and 70s are really going to enjoy them.
I think so.
Fun guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Do visual. At least Steve Fairbanks, who's a member of it, does visual arts too, and had a lot of work in our Veterans Art Show.
Exactly. Yeah, lots of tie-in there.
Yeah.
So just then we have, in March, we have Goodnight Gracie, another local band. In April, we have the Sweet Potatoes, which actually are from California.
Oh.
But they have Illinois ties.
Okay.
And so talking with them about different times they would be back in Illinois, and April was one of them, so we'll have them in April.
And what do they play?
Theirs is more of an Americana, not really the bluegrass stuff, but more of an Americana type. they have both some originals and some covers that they do. So that's always fun. The crowd likes that mix, things that are familiar to them, but then some new things that they're enjoying too.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about music in the McKenzie is we stick pretty much to acoustic instruments.
Yeah, yeah.
I think one time maybe we had electric guitars. It's just, it's the library. There's other things going on. And the McKenzie room, of course, is out front, but it can still be heard through the library.
It can. And the room, every band that has played in there has said that you don't need the electric, you don't need the big speakers and things. The acoustics in that room are just perfect. It was like somebody thought, oh, we're going to build this room to play music.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there we go. And it has worked great. It really has.
Yeah.
Everybody's enjoyed it, and it's just a great sound in there.
Yeah, so the sweet potatoes are a chance to hear a little bit of what's happening in California.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And we don't have anybody for May yet, so if...
But I'm sure we will soon.
Oh, yes, we've got some feelers out there.
And we always have a web page on, on PeoриaPublicLibrary.org that's just music in the McKenzie.
And we'll keep that updated.
Yeah,
as we
it's at
fill
the
it
bottom
in.
of the homepage. There's our logo that's the guitar that you can click on and go right to a page that tells all about all these bands.
Yeah.
But we also, it's on our web calendar every month. It's in passages. We even put it in kid events usually.
And if you follow us on Facebook, we have it on Facebook. And a lot of the bands themselves will create events to let people know what's going on and when they're going to be in the area.
Yeah, a great idea is to follow us and put us see this first so that you get all of our notifications if you're a Facebook user.
Exactly, exactly. So we've got most of the rest of the year booked up. We do have a couple openings like September and then December we do. But we'll try to stick with a couple more local places, or local groups, I mean.
Yeah.
We've got a couple returns. We have Switchback, which everybody loves. They pack the house every time they come. And we have Sally Weisenberg Band. She does a little bit of everything. She does some originals, she does some covers, she does some stuff from the 60s and 70s and 50s and jazz and
so just kind of a
bluegrass
musical review.
She does, and she has a huge following, so it's a lot of fun to see her interact with the audience because with it being during 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see the audience, and she talks with them, and they reminisce and whatnot. It's an entertaining event, not just because of the music, but because of all the other things going on. So,
cool.
Yeah, so there's some and a couple new ones that we haven't had before. Eric Lambert.
And what does he play?
Americana. He also does some blues and soul, so that'll be fun. He plays guitar. As far as I know, he's coming by himself, but I know he does travel sometimes with another person, so we'll see what happens there. Hungry Town, acoustic folk music, and then Sarah McQuaid, who's actually from, out east. She has some ties out east. She has some ties in Illinois, but she also has some ties across the ocean. So, she'll be with us in October, and wide variety of music. She herself plays guitar. And again, travels sometimes just by herself and then other times with an extra person there with her. So we've got an interesting mix this year. Some locals, some not locals, but all acoustic pretty much. So that's great. That's a lot of fun.
And a lot of these people go places like Nashville or have recorded quite a few things, or they play in big cities all the time, and we're just lucky they take a moment to fit us in. But who else asks them to play on Sunday afternoon?
Sunday afternoon.
Unless they're doing a big festival or something.
Right. Otherwise, it fits right in with a trip from Chicago to St. Louis, maybe, or whatever. So.
Stop off and do it. So, well, that's exciting, and we'll look forward to seeing what else comes along.
Exactly.
But again, it's easy to find who's playing when. But then another thing that we book well ahead is our gallery.
Yes.
And in January, it will be empty for a little bit of touch-up.
Yes. I mean, as you would imagine.
It gets hard use.
It does. It's used and abused and loved, and you got to touch up some paint on the walls and things like that. So we got to take that time
get ready
out to
for
make it look
another
pretty
couple
again.
of years of whatever. Yeah, when you hang some of the things we hang, the walls take a beating.
They do.
But what do we have coming in February? This is a new topic for us.
Two Men Who Made a Difference in Peoria is their title. Les Kenyon and George Cotterman. Lots of architecture going on here, sketches and things. you might actually be able to talk a little bit more about
Yeah,
some
but
of
Les
these.
Kenyon,
with
we've
his
lost him
architect-
fairly recently, and
Yes.
George Cotterman even hasn't even been gone a year yet.
Right, right.
And
yeah.
George Cotterman was a collector who is well-regarded authority in the Peoria area.
Yeah.
But Les Kenyon is well known for all his architectural
Yes.
things he created and the things he saved. And there's, his work with the GAR Hall and the Flatiron Building and so many things that he was involved in that have kept some of that historic character of Peoria that we might have totally lost had he not been willing to go to battle for them. And of course now we treasure them. What seemed in the 60s like just
It's a
old
building.
cruddy stuff that was 70 years old, get rid of it. And no, these are gems. These are important things.
Yeah.
But some of their friends, Theogene Kenyon, who of course everybody knows from the Journal Star,
Right.
and can't think of his name, Bennett.
Yes.
Yes, Bennett. and several other people have gone together, and they're going to bring together some of
These wonderful works of art.
Yeah, wonderful works of art, sketches, architectural sketches,
Mm-hmm.
and plans, and some of Cotterman's artwork, and it'll be wonderful.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see, and with it being right there by the local history department,
Yeah.
jump right in there and read all about things and see
what
other
they've
images
done.
and things that they've done. So
And of course,
I think
Dr.
that's a lot of
Cotterman,
neat.
so many people my age had their teeth straightened by him too. So they may know him as the orthodontist
Oh,
and not the art
goodness.
collector, but
Yeah.
he certainly was a huge influence on art in Peoria.
and a huge supporter with the museum and things. So yeah, I think that's going to be really neat.
It'll be a look into some recent history, behind the scenes things that people aren't aware of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then March.
March, we've got Keith Cotton, and Keith is a photographer. He's from Illinois. He's a transplant to Peoria, but he's very talented. It's neat to watch him work. Put his subjects at ease, I guess, if you would say. He took pictures of my kids once, so that was fun to watch that. As you know, I have one that's fairly shy.
Yeah.
So to see him talk with her and get her to, just be silly and whatnot. He's done some serious pieces as well. He worked on the East Bluff mural and took pictures of people over there, and there was a big unveiling of that. So this is a time that you can come in and see the wide variety of things that he has done.
Yeah, I think we see little glimpses of his work here and there, which is very different than seeing a body of work.
Yes, yeah.
So it's going to be very
He
nice.
mostly does people, but I know he's done some shoots of, homes, and he's done different, architectural pieces and things like that, but he does mostly portraits.
Yeah,
so.
he's one of the leading names that comes up when you talk
Yeah.
photography in
And,
Peoria.
and he's just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just a fun guy to be around. So that should be interesting to see what he decides to bring for us to hang.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then April,
April, we have our return of the Congressional Art Show.
new congressman.
New Congressman Darren LaHood. It'll be fun to see his spin on things and his staff and how they, if they decide to take it a different route or whatever. But we know that we will have them back, and that's all the high schools in the area.
Yeah, in
are-
that
in that
congressional
district, right? And
Which is kind of nice because it's different than, a school district or
Yes.
a school or
yeah.
like we used to do the Mid-State 9 or whatever, and it's different than all that. It's the congressional district.
Exactly. So it pulls from Quincy, and it pulls from Peoria, and it pulls just all over the place. So so that's really neat to see. And they in the last few years they've included some 3D work. So I'll be excited to see if they do that again.
Yeah.
And the kids are really talented. They really are. It's
Yeah.
fun to see what they pull together and.
Many people say that's their favorite show of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big show usually.
It is.
It's a big show.
It
and
is.
the winner gets such an honor.
Yeah, their piece gets to hang in the. Oh, I can't think what it is now. It's out in their office, but
Yeah,
there's
it's in the Capitol.
it's in the Capitol,
Yeah.
in the congressman's office. But they
Yeah.
also have some of the other pieces on display out there. I can't think of what it's
Yeah,
called.
there's like some kind of hallway.
Yes.
Something. The hallway at the Capitol. No.
Sure.
Anyway, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
but
they-
with nationally recognized other high schoolers.
And the winner gets to fly out there and
Mm-hmm.
see their piece and everything else. So it is very very exciting for the family and the teacher and everybody else involved in it. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
May.
In May, we have the Rennick Art Show, which...
Long-time partnership, well over 50 years.
Yes.
Headed towards 60 years.
I was going to say, we have to be pushing 60 here. Definitely over 50 years. And those are local people, local artwork, so that's always fun to see. You come in and take a look, you're going to recognize names from the area. So that's always fun.
Yeah, it's the Historical Society always, it has to be within, I think usually they say 150 miles of Peoria, the subject, and it has to be, gardens. It can be gardens, it can be people, it can be buildings, historic events, anything like that. But it can be any number of, painting, photography, sculpture.
Yes.
We've even had some fiber art representing the area. So
it's neat to see the variety.
A unique show. And they always have a reception, and I'm sure they will again this year because they usually award a cash prize to the winner.
Yes, so that's one to, if you're an artist and interested in
that's
one to get involved
one of the
in.
ones that anybody, you just painted your first painting and you think it's pretty good, or you want to know if it's good.
Enter it in.
You can enter it. You don't have to belong to any group. You don't have to be a long-time artist. You don't have to have credentials.
No.
You just enter it as long as it meets their criteria for the subject matter.
And like you said, we work with the Historical Society on that, and they keep information from year to year. So if you have lots of questions about it, that would be the place to talk to them about that.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And then June and July, we have our big Smithsonian exhibit coming.
Yes.
Exploring human origins, what does it mean to be human?
Yeah.
And you have done a lot of research on this. You went to
Yeah,
DC.
I went to Washington, D.C. and saw the Human Origins Hall.
Yes.
And we're very, very fortunate. This was a grant, and it was awarded. There's only 19 places in the United States this exhibit will go, and Peoria is one of them. So we'll have it for 4 weeks, and it's very hands-on. It has kiosks. It has skulls you can hold. But the central question of this exhibit is, what does it mean to be human? And the Smithsonian sat back and said, there's too much discord, there's too much lack of discussion. People have settled in camps on the thought of evolution.
Yes.
And it was explained to us when we visited that a lot of that started in the 70s when not a scientist, but a graphic designer made that little picture we're all aware of that has the little monkey that goes up to a human man and said, this is evolution. And it's not.
It's wrong.
You'll see when you come to the exhibit that there's this more of a thick bush thing that has all these different species of hominids that don't relate to human beings. That so why are we human and they weren't? And you'll have an opportunity to write a Post-it note on what you think it means to be human.
Yes.
But in addition to all the kiosks and all the things that you can see and feel and read and do, we also are very privileged to have some of the top experts from the Smithsonian coming. We'll have several public lectures about science and religion. There'll be a special program for the clergy, which if anybody is watching this that is a member of the clergy and wants to be invited to that, be sure and give the library a call and ask to speak to programming or public relations, and we'll get you on the list. And there's going to be a workshop for teachers.
For educators, exactly.
And on top of that, the Smithsonian has given us a set of books that will be available for teachers, and we will get a travel case with 5 of the skulls from the exhibit. In the exhibit, they're on a kiosk, and you turn them and can look at them, but we will have a travel case that teachers will be able to check out and take to their classroom.
This is very unique and very exciting and
And a big deal.
Yeah.
And then we also have local experts like Dr. Fred Smith from Illinois State University is bringing a team of experts, and there will be a lecture every week on some different part of what it means to be human and human origins. And I was very excited when we got to, he went to Washington, D.C. with me, and the man who's in charge of all this turns out to be a very good friend of his because they've been professional colleagues for many, many years. But there was Dr. Fred's skull that he discovered in Croatia in the big exhibit. So who knew?
Yes. we have a treasure with Dr. Fred. We got to visit him down at ISU, and it was very interesting just to hear him speak about everything and show us everything.
And he is going to bring bits and pieces of their collection, and each branch will have a display.
It's on display, yeah.
So
well, this will be on display at the main library
in the gallery. The big display will, but at each branch you'll be able to catch a little glimpse of something.
Yes, yeah, and it's so neat to hear him talk and be able to speak to all levels. He talked about talking with kids as well as adults and just anybody in between, different levels of education and everything else. So this is not something you want to miss.
No, and I don't care if you are where you stand in the evolution camp. Whatever your opinion and feelings are, this is an exhibit to see.
Yes.
And to learn a little bit and to be able to talk again to people in a manner that produces some results and doesn't end up in people not talking to each other.
Exactly. Divided. Yeah.
Divided.
It should bring people together. I think.
And I think it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that we're going to tie in our summer reading theme
with
that. And summer reading, we dig it.
We dig it. It'll be an archaeology theme.
Yeah. We're kind of excited about this one. It'll be fun to explore all the different areas of archaeology with that and see what we can do. We also are bringing back our antique appraiser.
Yes.
Digging into your past, digging into history.
Digging
things
into your attic. Yeah. I think is what we called that one. Yeah.
So we'll bring him back. That I think a lot of people enjoyed having Mark Moran last fall.
Yeah.
So we'll bring him back and do that. But that'll
be exciting.
It's all going to tie into that summer reading and the Smithsonian exhibit.
Yeah. Even more reasons to do summer reading because every time you come, there'll be themed programs.
Yes, exactly. For everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
It will be. It will be.
And then as soon as Exploring Human Origins leaves, we've got Illinois Art League.
Yes, and Illinois Art League again. They're members of the Illinois Art League, local people showing off their local talent. And again, you'll walk in, you'll recognize names on the wall, so that's always fun. And a variety of different things again for that.
It's just amazing to see what our local people can do. And then November, Steve Wilson, another local photographer who I understand used to have my job at the library.
He has a tie to PPL. That's a lot of fun. That'll be neat to bring him in and see what he has.
Yeah, he's currently with Unity Point, but he's a photographer who's taking it to the next step. Amateur photographer taking it to the next step. So
what does he photograph? A little bit of everything?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think so. So that'll be great.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And again, then our Veterans Art Fair, or Veterans Art Show, I should call it, will be back in December. And that's always touching and interesting. And
they've changed it up a little. They're now calling themselves 22 VA, and that's because there are 22 suicides with veterans every month, every day, and they want to call attention to that, and express their feelings, their experiences, shape what they do as artists. Some of them took up artist therapy after they served. Some of them were artists going in. So always good to see and know.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't have that much time left, and so I do want to mention quickly 2 more programs we have still coming up in 2015, right at the end of the year here in December.
We have, we're going to celebrate 10 years of Fancy Nancy. Anybody that has little girls, younger girls, even boys, has probably heard of Fancy Nancy. She's very ooh la la and French and likes to use big words.
She uses very big words.
Very fancy words.
Vocabulary expanding words for your little reader.
It's a celebration and different things like that. But we're going all out Sunday, December 20th at North Branch in the afternoon there. Sign up starts just after Thanksgiving. Call North Branch, sign up because our space is limited. It's going to be a tea party and cake, and there will be photographs taken.
There's a string quartet as well.
A string quartet playing. Let me think.
I think Miss Glass is going to be there.
Miss Glass from the book will be there. There'll be crafts. There will be learning French words. I mean, you name it.
It's an extravaganza.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. So you can wear your fancy clothes, or you can come casual. That's fine too.
Yeah.
But definitely,
This is the time to bring out your marabou boa.
yes, your boa and your tiara
And your sparkle, your sparkle shoes.
Exactly, exactly. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We do want to take registration, though, like I said, because the space will be limited.
To make sure we have enough tea for everyone.
Yes, yes.
And enough crafts.
Exactly, exactly. And another big thing coming up is Sherlock Marathon. Everybody is into the Sherlock Baker Street Bash
Yeah,
things.
the BBC television show, Sherlock, which has Sherlock in modern times.
Yes, yes.
But this is for anybody who likes any of the Sherlocks,
Yes.
whether it's the movies or the old TV shows. Those are my favorite, the old black and white ones.
or has read all the books, or
Yeah,
whatever
read
it
all
may
the books,
be.
whatever your connection to Sherlock.
So Saturday, December 19th, I'm sorry, at the main library, we're going to have, or I'm sorry, North Branch.
Branch,
I'm getting
yeah.
my dates mixed up, or my
Yeah.
events mixed up. At North Branch, there'll be a mix of different things going on, a photo booth, crafts, trivia. There will be a prize for coming dressed as your favorite character.
And that can
different
be
things
from
like-
any of the genres.
Yeah, the movies, the shows, any of those things. And then there'll be Bradley, I'm not sure how to say his last name. Starts with a K, Kiefauver, maybe?
Possibly.
I think.
He's a local blogger that
Yes,
blogs about
all
Sherlock.
about Sherlock.
And he's going to
Come and
speak.
talk. Yeah. So lots of things going on with that, showing the shows and different things. So if you're a Sherlock fan, modern, past, whatever it may be, come and check that out. Make sure you look on the website to see when the dates and times and everything for that are.
Right. Well, there's so much going on, and we haven't even touched on
No, we
all the other
haven't. We
programs,
haven't.
but we're
Yeah.
out of time. There's a lot of information, so I want to remind you, if you haven't signed up for our e-news, you can do that on our website or ask at any desk. You can pick up a paper passages. You can download the exact calendar as it looks in our paper passages from our website. We have kid events if you're looking for children's events. Call and ask what's going on. Our librarians are glad to tell you that because you're calling the call center, they're not overly busy. You can usually get somebody. They're not standing at the desk waiting on people. So be sure you visit our website at peoriapubliclibrary.org. Check out peoriareads.org, and you're going to have a very busy 2016. Thank you for watching.